Hi everybody, well today we're going to go explore an old railroad bed. I've been back here many times before, but there's a nicer weather now. It's early spring, so let's head out and we'll get this nice video shot here. Let's see what we can find here. So we were walking down old Route 23. Up there where the traffic is new Route 23 and no improvement whatsoever. I don't even know why they put the highway up there, but they did. And then you get into Sussex, it's a fiasco there. The traffic. Here we are, old Route 23, and right here used to be an elderly lady used to live in a house there. You can see all the yucca plants there. It almost looks like somebody took them all. So old Route 23 used to be a two-lane bridge here that went over the river. All gone now, since they built the new Route 23 a long time ago. We're gonna go down here and take a look. Oh my goodness, it's wide open here. It's an old salvage yard there. The goats walking around the yard back there. I don't know if you can see it. It's funny. Alright, first thing we're going to do is take a look. So we're going to be hiking on the Lehigh New England Railroad bed, which was pulled up in 1961, 1962. And up ahead of us there's a bridge, and you had a spur that went off to the right. There was a big creamery there at one time. I'm not going to walk all the way over there, but that's main business for Lehigh New England towards the end was the farm industry. And when Lehigh New England pulled out, the milk industry, farming industry, all got together and tried to buy this section of the line so they can continue to have railroad service to their farms to haul their product out. But they just couldn't come up with enough money to do it. Now, I don't know what's going on over here with this bridge. Last time I was here, there's a big gate across it. And I know they're trying to make this a whole access trail. But right now it's a gas pipeline, so I don't know. So we're going to look. Oh my goodness, looks like they have it open for vehicle traffic. Alright, so here is the spur that went off to the right here, that went to the big creamery and all under industry. Used to be a lumber company back there. Everything used to be back there. Look at this, they rebuilt the bridge. Oh, so cool. My sister and I used to ride bikes in here and everything years ago. Look at this. It's all rebuilt. I'm gonna go over this bridge right now. Take a look. Look at that. It's totally rebuilt. It's a footbridge now. Oh my goodness, look at this. Years ago, we used to bounce over railroad tracks with our bikes here. This is all open now. Oh, I'm loving this hike so far. Look at this. This is so neat. I can't believe this. Totally rebuilt bridge. Wow. Look at that. Here's the old access for the railroad, man. They used to go through here. Look at that. Let's keep on walking, everybody. I used to love to ride here. I gotta check my time because I'll be out here a little while. Okay, so I left the car at 3:02. Oh my goodness, late already. Oh, geez. We are walking, 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 hiking, hiking, hiking. Now up ahead, now I don't know. I definitely don't have time to get to that bridge, but there's quite a few bridges on this old railroad bed that cross the river. Right there is what you see right there. And one of them during Hurricane Floyd, was it? I really had so many bad hurricane storms that washed out a lot of places. Anyway, it undermined one of the bridge supports, and the whole bridge leaned over almost at a 10-degree angle, and they had gas pipeline attached to it. And thank goodness the gas line stayed up. It didn't fall over, or that would have been a disastrous gas pipe break. This is neat. I'm able to go back here. I've been years since I've been back here, and it was my trike. No, I'm saying trike. Trike. My bike. So, see all the rock cut here and everything? Very peaceful back here, walking between farmlands. I always remember it wet here. Always had to dodge this wet ground here. It's still here. I'm talking about 1990s, everybody, since I've been back in this part of the trail. 1990s. See that? Look, all the rocks there. There must have been a siding here or something, because it's awful wide for a one single track here. This is neat. Look at that, all abandoned farmland here. That's not being used anymore. That amazes me that they can't afford it, so they walk off the farm. Look at all the gates here. I would love to have the gates from my farm, especially that aluminum one there. You gotta start watching out for ticks already. The ticks are out. They're always out, but when it starts getting warmer, and it's 60 degrees today. Could rain, but yeah, they come out when you come out. They're always out. There's another nice aluminum gate there. Not aluminum, galvanized steel. Look at this. This is so neat. I'm thinking of just going to the end of this section here. Should come out to a road, and maybe if I got time I'll go back the other way, head towards the mouth of the river. Let's see. I got long legs, I'm tall, I walk fast. I walk fast. So here is another bridge. This is the typical concrete style bridge the Lehigh New England Railroad used right here. You'll see them a lot along this railroad bed. Some of them have dates on it. Just what I'm doing. I'm trying to see if there's a date on it. No. They put these heavy-duty concrete bridges in for the decapods, engine decapods. They're big and heavy and powerful, and you need a lot of ground support to hold them. And I'm talking about this railroad was a Class 1 railroad, from what I read. And right up to the end, when they pulled up the railroad, they were still doing 60 miles an hour or more, according to what I read. So to the left, oh, hit my camera. To the left is a relative of ours, mother's side, and they lived there. Now, I like I said, they pulled up the railroad in 61, 62, but I remember walking down, a little kid, I must have been 2 years old. I do remember it though. Walking down and coming out here and seeing the railroad here. I barely remember. I do remember that though. And the lady, I guess my mother's cousin, came out and said, "Don't you go out there in that railroad bed. A lot of trains go through and you don't hear them coming and they fly through. So don't go out there." So I looked there and said, "Okay." I always had an interest in railroads back then. Funny, huh? Anyway. A few years later, we went back and visited them again. And I just so excited. I wanted to see the railroad. So as soon as we got there, I said to my mother, "I'm going down there." I said, "All right, remember, don't go out on the railroad." I got out here and the whole railroad was gone. It was just gravel. And the lady came out and talked to me again and says, "What happened to the railroad?" And she says, "Oh, they pulled it up a few years ago. And her son and daughter takes a 4-wheel drive and a motorcycle and they go trail riding through here now. You go miles," she said. "Oh, they pulled it up. I want to see a train go by. Always want to see a train go by here, and you're never going to see a train go by here anymore. A ghost train, maybe." There's the river right there, everybody. Ghost trains. I could tell you ghost train stories. But it's not Halloween, so I tell ghost train stories now. It's springtime. I'm thinking springtime. And all springtime stuff. I'm looking at an old footbridge way back there. Somebody has an access bridge that comes over here. That's private property. I don't want to go on somebody's property. I'm sure it's private. It's pretty neat. Someone built a bridge there. By the way, that river is you can kayak it or rowboat or whatever you want to do, but you're going to get a lot of snags. It's not fun hitting snags. And snags, by the way, is big trees across the river. Very dangerous too. That's a lot of people lost their life when they hit up a snag and it pins your boat up to it and it starts flipping it, and then you flip and you get sucked under. So, oh my goodness, an eagle nest right there. Oh my goodness. See the big brush? I don't know if you can see it, everybody. I was reading there's an eagle nest back here. There's one right there. I think I see a white head sticking up too. Oh, if I only had my better camera here, everybody. Yep. That's an active eagle nest up there. Hear the little beep, beep, beep. That could be the eagles. They make a high-pitched sound. Oh, I'm coming back here with binoculars and a strong camera. Now, you don't want to get near an eagle nest because you disturb them. That's very mean to do. But that's an eagle nest. Okay. Wow. Not many people know about that one. That one's really hidden. Oh, look at this. Flowers there. In bloom. Very nice. Alright, I'm about ready to head back because I know I'm to the, almost to the end of the access road here. I've got a lot of walking to do yet. I always liked walking along this trail, this old railroad bed. There's so much history laying around here yet in this section of the Lehigh New England Railroad. It's like a big tractor's riding through here. According to what the prints are in the mud. Maybe a farm tractor. Oh, that's just too bad I can't zoom in with a GoPro camera because I see an old tow truck back there. Look at that. Yeah, they rebuilt this whole line here. They got something in mind here. They're gonna, I know they do that to make it accessible for their equipment to maintain the gas line here, but yeah, I wonder. There's always talk about making this a whole rails to trails place. Now I'm gonna have to get out here and explore more, but like I said, it's possible they just rebuilt that bridge and everything else here just so they can get their equipment along this old railroad bed. Because right now it's owned by the gas company, but they have been talking for years about making this another rails to trails trail. There's the river. Oh. And I was going to go the other way. I didn't think that bridge was rebuilt. I tried walking over that bridge a few years ago. It's scary. Old rotten railroad ties. Yeah. Now there's a lot of bums that hang around these old railroad beds. And one of the stories I've heard was that by the bridge that I crossed, which we're going to head back soon and go over again, was a an escaped convict. And he hid under that bridge for days. And he was a murderer. And they found him. Look at this. An old telegraph pole that still has insulators on it. Isn't that neat, everybody? Find all this old rail stuff along here yet. You just don't know what you're gonna find. Oh, look, an old signal box. I see no battery box. What's left at it? Oh no, yeah, it is. See, that's an old concrete battery box. They had a battery box to keep the signals electric going to it. So if they had a problem where their electric line came down, they'll still have a signal operating it. Now you remember, you're in a rural, very rural area, and a lot of area up here didn't have electric, so they supplied their own electric along the railroad. But of course, like anything, storms can knock it down. So that they had battery boxes, and Lehigh New England used concrete ones with wooden and sheet metal top. Some washout here. Look at that. Isn't this neat, everybody? I haven't been back here in years. I'm just revealing how old I am, everybody. Oh, let's see. All right, I'll tell you. Let's see. First started coming out here in 1994, and I stopped coming here in 1998. I mean, on this trail because, you know, things happen, and you know, no time. The bridges got so bad that you couldn't cross them. So I started coming here in 98. So figure it out. So it's a long time. What are you talking, 28 years, 27 years? Yeah, almost 30 years. Oh, I did use the snowmobile here. I did do that too. Yeah. Alright, so did snowmobile here up to 2000, I guess. Then the bridges got to be so bad, I didn't dare come out anywhere in this little railroad bed anywhere. Listen to those red-winged blackbirds. Don't they sound neat? They're sending up their mating call. Let's be quiet, see if we can hear him going. That's one of them. I gotta get a bicycle in here. Again, take a slow ride and just explore it fast. Cover more ground. Oh, farm on here. Okay, you know, I'm gonna head back now because I want to go the other way. That's the road right over there. You can see the farms, and right along that road of farms of the road. I did want to go the other way today, so let's do it. We'll head back. Beautiful trail. I do know one thing about this trail though. It's not maintained. They only cut it once a year, the grass, so I came here once in July and the grass was 3 feet tall, and I was so worried about ticks coming all over me. I was wearing shorts too. I didn't get any on me, but I could have. It's just not worth hiking in long brush and grass like that. It doesn't matter if you have long pants on or shorts. Ticks work their way in everywhere. I've been bitten quite a bit with ticks, so hopefully I never picked up Lyme disease or anything else. Always makes you wonder, because I worked my whole life outdoors. So another great thought today is bears have come out of hibernation. And there's a lot of black bears around here. A lot. And it doesn't make me nervous, but they do wander. And if you just give them the room, hopefully they'll just keep going past you. I've seen many bears, many bears in my lifetimes, because like I said, I worked outdoors. So we'll just keep an eye out for everything here today. Hear that plane taking off. We're near an airport, a small airport. Nothing like jets or anything like that, but we do have airplanes take off, and you can hear them taking off. We're right near it. Oh, the irises here. Look at that. Oh my goodness, what a waste. Somebody planted all flowers along that bank. I'd love to take them, but that's somebody's flowers maybe. So we'll just leave it. There's decorations there. Christmas decorations. Gee. Good thing I brought some extra batteries with me here today. I may need to have them with me. Can you imagine seeing the great big steam engines chugging hard through here? The sounds and the sight of that must have been amazing to see. Sometimes I wish you could just go back in time to see all that stuff and just look at it and then come back. Life was so much simpler back then too. No crazy technology. Even the people were different. But you know what, I'm just talking, I wasn't living that time period. But I'm just saying, imagine what that must have looked like. Seeing steam engines, long freight trains and passenger trains going through here. And the sound that must have made. My mother told me the ground actually shook when it went through. Wish she had pictures of that. here, buddy. There's the bridge up ahead. All right, everybody, here we go over the bridge. Okay. And right here, that's railroad. That's not someone put it there. That was signals there. Neat, huh? Okay, now we're going the other way. The way I originally wanted to go, but discovered that. Now look, that's the railroad. Something railroad was there. Now this is where a big railroad yard is located. We're going under Route 23, the new Route 23 section. And just to show you where old Route 23 used to cross. It's right here. Right here. Old Route 23. And you put a new one in here. This is totally rebuilt. They rebuilt that back in a few years ago there too. With all new. So old Route 23 used to cross right here. My dad used to tell me he used to drive Route 23 years ago. And it was a two-lane highway up here. When I got way up here. There was so many head-on collisions. There it is, old Route 23 right there. Now I want to show, oh, this is something. This old train shed here. It's starting to really deteriorate. I believe that's not going to be staying much longer. Last of the Lehigh New England sheds. Look at that. All the tiles come over getting vandalized. There it is. There's a maintenance shed along the railroad, and that door there used to have a hand car. They used to pull it out. Just look how big the tree is here. He used to open this door, wheel it out. Here's the lock from the Lehigh New England yet. It's an old railroad maintenance way shed. It's a shame. Falling apart. Let's get a picture of it. We gotta get a picture of this shed before it's gone. Get a couple shed pictures because it's not going to be here much longer. I had it here because this is a big rail yard here at one time. I just want to show everybody something neat here. This is the side that used to wheel. Now, right here is an old coal bin for the potbelly stove. Right here. See that? Old coal bin. Alright, let's get going. And let's just rode your car out along the railroad and maintained it. Okay, so now we're going to go the other way. And up here, they had a connection with the Susquehanna Railroad, which actually went above this railroad, but they had a connection that came down a hill that connected with the Lehigh New England Railroad, and that was the Susquehanna Railroad. I'll show you the abutments that used to go over this railroad and the river. And they pulled that railroad out back in 1957, 58, something like that. 56, I don't know, around there. Right here is the railroad abutments where the railroad used to cross. I interviewed a fella that used to work on a Susquehanna, and he told me he remember going through here on his train. There it is, everybody, high above, and we're below on the Lehigh New England. They had quite a few tracks in here because the railroad yard was located back here. Right there is where the Susquehanna came down the hill on the past siding here. It came right through here. So right there. And there's the abutment that went over the river. To the other side. 3 meters, honey, isn't it? Okay, let's continue. Now this is the railroad yard here, whole railroad yard, and they had a coal dropping facility, which means that they drop the coal, the hot cinders out of the engine, so they can clean it and maintain it. They had a stockyard here, and they had a big water tower right here. I'll show you where it was located. And you can still see the the concrete mounting legs from the water tower. So the water tower was right here. I came here a few months ago back in the winter to show everybody this, but this is the water tower right here. It was a very large water tower. That's what all these foundations are here. Oh yeah, there it is. Huge water tower that was located here. Right there. You can see the legs, still the concrete legs that it was bolted down to. There's a lot of other stuff in here. It's all grown in now. Ouch! Sticky stickers. It's all in here. Turn of the centuries. The steam engines need water, and of course they had access to a river, but they hadn't needed to treat the water. It's hard to believe, but yes, they needed to treat the water that the steam engines used. Stop it from foaming and calcium buildup. It's like any steam boiler. You take like for example, you take a tea kettle, you use it for a while, it starts getting water salts build up inside. So you have to treat the, while they did the same thing, they had to treat the water that the steam engines used. Alright, we're getting way in here now. We're getting deep into the farmlands here. There's all stockyard all through here. Now this is a beautiful place to come to. later on this spring because of all the flowers and wildlife that's out here. I just love this place. It's one of my favorite trails. You could even take a handicapped rider's vehicle here and ride it. It's so all flat. It's beautiful. A little electric mobile. Thinking things. So we're getting way in here. Now on the left is still an active farm, but on my right is an abandoned farm. And that always reminds me of my farm that I bought. You see all the brush and trees in there. It looked like that. It looked just like that. And I tell everybody that, and it's hard to believe when you see it. But that's how it looked, just like that. And when I bought that property, I always said I could see what's in there. All right, so that always reminds you that. Listen to that birds going, spring birds. I hope it don't rain on me. I want to get this whole trail covered. I should stop talking and talk too much in my video. That's my phone going off every time I'm... Oh, I think some rare birds here. Love those red-winged blackbirds. I have no idea how many miles I'm hiking today. Could be 8, could be 10 miles, could be 5, I don't know. I got a bad knee, so it holds up. I tell you, really, right now I am tremendously enjoying this. It's a beautiful day, even though it's cloudy. Beautiful day. Oh, I can smell the swamp air here. It's got that distinct smell that nobody would ever know. I'm not talking about unless you live by a swampy area or walk past it. You know what I'm talking about. Look at that. They got the bridge open here too. Did they rebuild it? No, but it's passable. It's open, wide open. No, they did rebuild it. Look at that. Oh, this is so neat. Let's continue. Look at the beautiful farmlands here. Look at that. This is why I moved up here. I mean, I love northern New Jersey. It's right near Pennsylvania and New York State. But it's rural. rural area. All farms and it's preserves, so they can't really develop anymore here. I see a big giant tree across the trail. Oh, yes. There's a big tree there. That's a new tree. It must have came down in that big storm we had a few days ago. Not a problem to walk, but nothing else can get through. Alright, let's go look. This is the time of year I like to come out. You can hear all the peeper frogs. I'm hoping I could hear them today. I gotta stop talking because they know you're there. That's a huge tree that came across the trail. Double stacked. And it's right on the bridge. Oh my goodness, I don't know if I can get across this, because I had to walk over the bridge to get over it, and it's covered. It's right on the bridge. Let's see. This may be as far as we're going to be able to go. I don't know if I can do this one. Oh, this is disappointing. They just rebuilt this bridge. Well, let's see. Wow. It damaged it a little bit. The bridge looks like it's holding up all right. I can get over this. Look, what a shame. It just rebuilt it. There's the old bridge. This used to be a two-line railroad here. That's the old bridge. That's what it looks like, what's left of it. See if I can get over this without hurting myself. Always be careful when you do this stuff alone, because if you hurt yourself, I'd say I hurt myself. That's it. Done for. And it'll be on video. Okay, we gotta cross that. So right now we're still on the two-line part of the railroad. They have a long passing siding here because of all the trains that used to come through here. So that's how busy it was here. Can you imagine? I always think of this railroad man that worked in the yard, and he had to work on his train or something like that. And some of the trains were long, maybe a mile long, half mile long, and they would say, look, we can't move until you walk this train, make sure it's all on the rails and secured. You got to walk it from the yard to the back to the caboose. There's no one in the caboose right now. It's safe. For some reason. So they'd send the guy out and say, go walk it. And it was nice weather out. You get a nice walk in the country. If it was cold, rainy, or snowy, you're trailing through quite a bit of snow. You'd have to do it. I wouldn't mind it. beekeepers. They're out. Doesn't that sound peaceful? They know you're here, so you can't talk loud. Such a beautiful, peaceful sound. Okay, here's the farm line here. Look at this beautiful plot of ground here. Just look at that. Wow, that's so beautiful. Beautiful hay field here. Look at that. Beautiful. This is the unused farmland here. It's either abandoned or they just don't farm it no more. All old farm equipment laying in here. I always think it's such a waste to see farm equipment laying around. Take a look at this. There's an old John Deere seeder here. If I can get in here. Ouch, 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 ouch. Look at that waste. Old John Deere two place seeder here. And whatever that used to be. Oh man. Such a waste. What else is around here? I'll make sure. Let's see. Let's have a look. This was farmed at one time, not too long ago. It's all second growth here. This is what happens when you don't plow or mow it. Just nature takes over. What's this we see over here? So they just left farm equipment way back here and no longer use it. Look at that. Who knows what you got on here? Fence post. I look at this stuff all the time and think, what a waste. When I see these old farms here, old farm equipment just laying around. Look at this. Wow. Old catapult cattle, whatever it is. It's like a disc, but you plant wheat or rye or whatever, and you use that pole behind, and it packs it down. Catapacker or something like that. I don't know. Something like that. Something over here. Let's take a look before we hit back on the trail again. Looks like an old truck wheels here. Oh, it's a whole frame. Huh. Big springs. Maybe it's a trailer. Maybe it's an old trailer at one time. Neat. Old stuff back here. Alright. Can't explore too much back there. I'm running out of the light. The end of the day is coming up already. So let's get going. On the trail again. Okay, let's head down this way. I tried to get here early winter this year, but I ran out of time. So looks like today I'll be able to do it. Now the railroad is veering off into one rail instead of double track. Here it's single track now. You can see how it's narrowing off now. It's wide there and not wide over here. So they're heading into one track now. Small rock cut here. I found some beautiful flowers are in here that I took some cuttings from. The paticus, I think they were. Okay, now we're going to go down around this long curve here. There's another. Now this is not a bridge, everybody. This is a cattle crossing. This is what that is. For farm access, because they needed to get their cattle across to the other side of their farm. So the railroad built what's called cattle crossing bridges. And they had a small bridge, and they let the farmers a way to get across on the other side of their farmland, and which allowed them to not have to cross over the railroad, because a train is not going to stop if one of the cows or whatever is walking over the railroad. So that's what they did. They built cattle crossing bridges, access to the other side of their farmland. Amazing how much farmland is around here. That's no longer around. This was all fields probably at one time years ago when they built this railroad. And you can never know now because it's all grown in. There was so much farm here that they had to build a cattle crossing bridge. So quiet back here. There's nothing, just wilderness. Thousands and thousands of acres of wilderness, no houses. Away from the highways now. They can't build back here because it's all swampland, wetlands everywhere. Look at that. Another box that went onto the railroad, and they use cedar, so the cedar lasts for a long time without rotting away. Almost around a long curve, and we're almost to our furthest point I'm going to walk today. There it is. I would say it's a half mile yet. Way down there. You can't see it, what I can see on this through the camera, but it looks like about half mile. I am definitely enjoying this today. I'd thought I'd see more wildlife out here though. I guess they hear me coming. Lots of birds flying in front of the camera. Getting closer to the end of the hike destination, then they gotta go back, head back to the car. So to be able to make it before dark. Don't get dark till later now, but still. peepers here. It's hard they'd be around. By the way, spring peepers are frogs. Okay, I always enjoy seeing this pond here, a vernal pond. Yes, wood ducks. Neat, huh? Alright, I had to change the battery, but while I was changing the battery, I noticed a concrete slab back here. That is railroad. Something was mounted there. Alright. Let's continue. Another abandoned farmland property there. No peepers here. And this, everybody, is the end of the trail here beyond this pipeline sign here, because the pipeline will cross. It's a T here, and it crosses, goes up the hill up there, and it crosses the swamp on my right over there. Just a little further is the river. I'm going to try to get through to the river, but I don't know if I'm gonna. Oh, here we are. And that's it. Very wet out there. Let's see. Let's see if it's passable. Years ago I used to ride here. This was all open, but now it's all grown in. I don't know, still very grown in. I may just cut out here and call this the end of the hike. This hasn't been used in years. The problem is all the stickers. So far, I can get through. Somebody must be using it. Maybe deer. I don't know. I haven't been back here in years. Wood ducks. They don't like me here. Wood ducks are very shy. Oh wow, look at that hair. Oh, if only I had a... Why don't I ever come out here with a good camera? Let's see if I can get that picture out with my phone. Look at that thing. Stay there. I'll try to zoom in on my phone, but I don't know if I can do it. Yes, I can get him. What if I can video it? Okay, I got some video of it on my phone. Okay, let's continue. This is an amazing hike today. Just amazing. Ouch! Stickers. Don't know how much further I can go here. Oh! I didn't know it was this far back. Oh, trippy. Used to be able to ride a bike and motorcycle here. Not in this section no more. That was years ago. Not really worth going back here. It's really growing in here. Wow. Oh, okay. Okay, so right on the right here used to be access trail that used to go down through the farm field, and there was a bridge back there. And you can't even tell that it's even there anymore. It's all grown in. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to get to the river. The river's just a little further. But may not be able to do it here. So grown in. Oh! Very trippy. There's the river, everybody. And this, everybody, is the end of the hike that I'm going on. I gotta head back because there is the old bridge crossing right there. And I can't even get at it. All this backblacking through all these weeds here and stickers, I can't even get at it. Oh man, so many stickers here. Look at the big steel plate here. That's from the bridge. Oh, okay, there is the river. Yeah. What was that? Okay, so poor bird. I disturbed him. There we are. The old bridge and buttons that goes over the river here. Long gone. Was pulled up when they pulled up the railroad. That's it. We're heading back now. Just one picture here for documentation. There we are. I hear a lot of dogs. I hope that's not those hunter dogs or a dog pack, wild dog pack. Where's it going? Beautiful though, isn't it? That's called a snag. That's what you get caught on with a canoe or kayak. There are so many in the river there. Okay, let's see if I can get out of here now. Got in, I can get out somehow without getting all stuck in these stickers. I wonder what kind of bird that was. I got scared away. I really got a good look at him. Could have been a pheasant. Okay, let's head back a long way back to the car. Long way. How did I get in here? Which way did I come through here? It's different. Yeah. Okay. Alright. Can we get out of the stickers and everything here? Okay. I can't believe that's all so grown in the way it is now there. That used to be the place you used to come through. Which, by the way, behind me that way is a preserve now, and called a Wallkill Preserve, and you can access the other side on the other side of the river, but it's further away from here. Neat trail. I think it's called the Dundee Trail. Okay. Let's see if we can get out here and get my hiking legs moving along and get back to the car. All wet in there. Look at that. I want to do this exploring hike for a long time, the whole thing like this. Well, if it don't rain, I'd say this is a good day to do it. For me, this whole area here, this whole area, it's only not more than 5 minutes away from my house, so I feel lucky that so much is nearby like this to go explore. You hardly ever see anybody out here. Yeah, hardly ever. So you know, if you have a problem, you're going to be all alone. So just don't let that happen. Okay, I think I went around here. Got around those stickers. Okay, almost out of this sticker line here. I already used up one full battery for my GoPro, so I just put another one in. I have one more battery left. I hope I have enough batteries to do this whole exploring day today. Okay, we're out of that. Okay, off we go. A few miles. Head back now to the car. Hear that peeper? Listen to him. Doesn't that sound nice? That's a very sure sign of spring when you hear the peepers going. Beautiful, peaceful sound. Okay, let's go. You heard me talking. Imagine they are so shy and they hear you. They got really good hearing. They can hear you. So they stopped, they heard me talking softly like that. Imagine. That's how they can hear. Getting cooler now as the day gets to the end. I originally was going to leave the jacket in my car, but I'm glad I wore this jacket. Now I'm ready to zipper it up. This is a nice area to walk. It's nice, it's all flat. No big mountains to climb up and down on. I used to do that. I don't like doing that no more. I just like to go pleasure hiking like this. This is beautiful. You see the farmlands as you're walking along. I like to see that. Okay, here we go. We're up, leaving our destination here today. Making our way back to the car. Boy, that's a loud motorcycle. I don't understand why people gotta ride around in loud cars and loud motorcycles. It's like, you know, they say, let them be seen and heard. I don't know. That's how far away that is. We're way out here and you can still hear it. Alright, there's our vernal pond. Walking past it. I got a zipper in my jacket up. See if I can do it with the camera on. It's getting chilly now. Chili beans, chili. Okay, let's go. Got it up. I always look back behind me all the time because you never know what sneaks up behind you. So I always have this habit of looking backwards behind me all the time. I used to lead hikes, and my joke was the last one in the group should wear a hat with a face drawn on the back of it, because if the mountain lions would come up behind you, they always come up behind you, sneak behind you, and they would attack you from behind. And if they see your face, they won't. So I used to always joke about that. And everybody wanted to be in the middle or in front then after that. That was a joke I used to always say. Man, I used to have big groups. I used to lead history hikes, stuff like that. Before that COVID thing, I gave it up now. Look at that. Getting darker, getting cloudier. I think we're going to get rain today. So, this is turds from an animal. It's white. Does it come out of the white? Or does it turn white? I often see that. I guess it turns moldy as it deteriorates. I don't know. Okay. Did I say I talk a lot when I'm walking? I have to apologize to everybody. Maybe it makes it interesting, maybe it don't, but I like to point out the things I see when I'm out here. Alright, we're on a big curve again. We're going around the curve. And you notice how it's banked, leans to the right. High-speed curve. That's how railroads built their railroad back then. They banked the curves so the train can go faster around the curve and hold on to the track. I don't think they do that anymore today. You build them when they maintain the railroads. But yeah, see, it's leaning like a little like this to the right of me. A banked curve. Shows you how fast they used to fly through here. Trains did. Oh, we're around that curve now. There's a straightaway. This, by the way, this board here on the cattle crossing was a walkway for the railroadmen. So they even had that at one time there. And whoever else walked along the railroad. So rather than walking on the railroad, they'd walk along the railroad. And if the train was sitting there, you wouldn't have any way to get over that bridge. So you'd have to have something to get over the bridge, so they had walkways. Pretty neat to think about too. Oh, something black. I don't know what that is. A bobcat. What is that? Could be just a regular cat, but that was a big animal. Dark colored. Doesn't even know on here. I bet that was a bobcat. Or it's too dark for a fox. It's probably gonna be a long time until I get there. I'm not gonna talk anymore. See if I can see what it is. I know you couldn't see it in this video. I don't think. It's somewhere in there now. Long gone, I'm sure. Out hunting for dinner. He's probably looking at me right now. Can't see it in there. But look at this. There's a crossing here for some animal. So some animal access here that goes through a lot. Interesting, isn't it? Okay, could be a home for something back there. We won't disturb it. Happy little home for him. There's the farm fields, halfway point to back to the car. Hope it holds out the weather. Look at this beautiful rock here. Look at that. Look at the colors in there. Beautiful. I'd love to knock that rock open and see what's inside. Take a sample. Come back here with a hammer and see if we can get some slabs off it. We're getting closer to the Route 23 highway. Also being very damp out and rain blowing in, the sound travels more. It's got an more echoey sound how it travels. Okay, everybody, I realize this is a long video, but I do this to go explore. And not only is it fun for me to look back at and see, but I like to share it with everyone. And also documenting history, because a lot of this back here is disappearing, like that old railroad shed and other things, and new stuff is appearing, like they rebuilt that bridge. So it's things keep changing. It's just fun to look at this video and share everybody. I mean, think about it, it's going to be shared. Everybody around the world is going to see this video. It's an amazing thought. So don't forget, everybody, I know I'm enjoying this. I do appreciate it if you like, share, and subscribe to my channel. It means a lot to me. It doesn't cost anything for you to subscribe and like it. And if you have any comments, let me know. We appreciate it. Makes it even more worthwhile to do these adventures. And I'm glad you joined me today as I make a way back out. Now this is going to be a hard spot here, because this is the tree that fell right onto that railroad bridge I got to cross over. So let's make sure we make it through here without getting hurt. Okay. So far so good. Alright. There you go. This, by the way, is a cattle crossing under here. Another cattle crossing access for a farmer to get their cattle to the other side of their property and maybe farm equipment. As you can see, that was a two two-track bridge, because we are entering two-track main line here because of the railroad yard that's up ahead in the creamery spur siding that went into Sussex. There's a big creamery there. Railroad, lumber company, all kinds of industrial stuff back then that was around. All gone now. And oh, by the way, the creamery is now a condominium or rental housing. I took a picture of the railroad station that used to be there. That's gone. I'm so glad I documented that. I think I should find that bridge, that picture. I know a lot of people are interested in seeing this stuff. Okay, we're going around another curve now. Look at this. Isn't this neat? Look at that. How a vine choked out the tree and made it grow like that. Isn't that neat? I thought I'd just point that out. And the tree grew like that. I'm surprised somebody didn't cut that tree down and make a cane or hiking stick out of it, because that's what they do. There's some more farmland right there. Here's our straightaway, and up ahead we're gonna make a right onto the old Susquehanna Railroad and head back to the car. Here's the two-track main line here. That's how many trains used to be here. This is another cattle crossing. Now, you know, it looks very low and all that, but that was a lot deeper back then when they built it. A lot of farmlands that needed cattle crossing bridges. Access bridge. Access bridge means, I meant to say, because the cattle walked underneath the railroad, not over it. The railroad went over the cattle. I guess when they put the railroad in, they made an agreement with the farmers, owners. They would give them access to the other side of their property. They really had no choice, I guess. So you get an agreement. That's what they did. All right. Getting there now. Been out for over 2 hours now, non-stop. Non-stop hiking. Some old railroad ties laying there. There must be somebody locally riding around that noisy motorcycle. I hear it riding up and down this highway there for the past hour with their noisy motorcycle. We're at the railroad yard now, and all this is the stock yard here where they let the animals out during their trip to their destination, wherever that was. There was a large stock yard here at the railroad head. That's what used to be in here. Used to be old trail with access to this in there, but it's all grown in now. So I'm just going to stay on the railroad bed. What's that? I remember that laying there when I came through. What is that? Tire. That wasn't there when I came through before. When I came down here. What the? That's strange. Now, how did I get there? Did I overlook it? I was so busy looking at the old water tower foundation. Maybe I didn't see that. Possible. I don't remember that there. So I used to go through here. It was a nice trail. It was a shortcut back to the car, but as you can see, I'm not going that way. We'll just take the other railroad, the Susquehanna Railroad. Head back to the car that way. So we're going to take the right now. Well, that's it back here. Pretty neat, huh? And by the way, you can see the electric lines there. They used to go to some utilities. No longer used, of course. Oh, they're still alive. Interesting, isn't it? Okay, so we're on the Lehigh New England. Now we're heading on to the Susquehanna Railroad. And head back to the car. Oh, salvage yard here. This is on the back side. Lots of junk. That's what I do for a business, I guess. Look at the old rod and mower sitting there. Now, somewhere back here is goats they have too. Wheel horses, toros. Shee. Just sitting there, rotting away. Who knows? There's the goats. Looks like they're feeding them. Happy goats. Alright, almost back to the car, so I'm going to say goodbye to everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. As I said a while back, please like, share, and subscribe. Really appreciate it. If you are a subscriber, and I thank you. If you're not, just hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything, and it'll help you grow this channel. I really appreciate it. Like, share, hit the notification button, and stop by again, everybody. I'm going to say goodbye now. I know it's a long video, but I'm sure it'll be fun to look at. Okay, everybody. I'm going to head back to my car now. So, that's it. Bye, everybody. See you again. Stop by again soon.